My name is Joel Patrick, and I'm going to tell you the truth about Duante Wright. Starting off, of course, the media will tell you bold-faced and blatant lies, like this one. Obviously, Duante was not killed because of an air freshener. The notion that this young man was shot and killed over an air freshener is a load of absolute bovine excrement. If you take the time to do a bit of research, you'll find out that he had an outstanding warrant for weapons charges and can be seen in this video with an illegally obtained firearm. The main focus of this video is not going to be on his criminal past. However, it's going to be on the color of his skin. Now you might ask, Joel, why would this be the focus of your video? Well, let me explain it to you. The reason the color of his skin is important is because Black Lives Matter is trying to push the narrative that another black man, unarmed, was shot and killed by the police. Where as of this moment, there is no evidence to prove that he was either armed or unarmed, and people are simply making assumptions, and with those assumptions they are already rioting. I want you to pay attention to the skin color of Duante Wright. Duante Wright is so light-skinned that if I was a police officer, I would not know he was a black man until I got quite close. I might assume that he's black, but I also might assume that he's white. So this narrative that the police are hunting down black men falls apart on this case because it isn't even obvious that he is a black man. This photograph of his family shows his mother and brother as both being white. Now I want you to notice a very important thing that is missing from this photo. It's a father. And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Fatherlessness is monumentally more problematic to the black community than police brutality. As posts flood social media, I've seen comments saying, not all black people are criminals, and it's wrong for the police to judge us like this. To which I would reply, you're right. Black people aren't all criminals. I myself am a black person that is not a criminal. However, when your response to injustice is immediately to go out and do criminal acts, it doesn't help the perception. For example, this photo. If these African American people truly believe that the police are evil racists who are looking for an excuse to kill black people, it sure seems odd that they would purposefully go and destroy the property of the people that they say are out to get them. Now, I wouldn't expect people like this to be extremely logical considering they vandalize, loot, riot, and destroy businesses that have nothing to do with the situation. And people say, well, when you're distressed, you get to riot. Actually, you don't. If you riot, you get to go to jail. I would also like to point out that as long as you're behind the wheel of a vehicle, you have a deadly weapon. If you don't believe me, you may need to research the most recent attack on the U.S. Capitol, where a Capitol Hill police officer was killed after he was run over by a person ramming the barrier with their vehicle. When your movement destroys property and ruins innocent people's livelihoods after they've already suffered through a pandemic, it is difficult to get behind your movement. Black lives will always matter, but as long as you allow your movement to be represented by violent extremists, you will consistently lose the people in the middle. All of these hashtags demanding justice, and every time all that seems to come out of it is settlements from the city and self-serving individuals like the founder of BLM who moved to a predominantly white neighborhood to $1 million house. So it's not like they're actually after justice, they're just after money. We need to stop addressing issues of police brutality as a race issue when there is no evidence that race played a factor. Racism has always and will always be a sin issue, not a skin issue. And unless you allow your life to be transformed by Jesus Christ, you will constantly be angry and bitter and feel like somebody owes you something, and you will never truly get to live your life to the fullest. If you enjoyed watching this video, you can support me at officialjoelpatrick.com. My name is Joel Patrick, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Protests and also showing the mom of Duante asking people not to do exactly how they be.
But I need you guys to, all the violence, if it keeps going, it's only going to be about the violence. We need it to be about why my son got shot for no reason. We need to make sure that it's about him, not about smashing police cars, because that's not going to bring my son back.
Now, it should be noted that all they heard was smashing police cars, and so they did.
Is that his biological mom?
I believe so. Again, a lot of this, I need to be clear, not all of this can be corroborated, but that's how it's being covered in mainstream news sites.
She's white.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice?
I noticed.
No, Dave.
But the point is, she said, don't do this. Don't smash police cars. And they said, smash police cars? She said, don't. Do the opposite of that. And if ever you needed a more clear example of the disconnect between actual justice, which usually involves waiting for information, waiting for the facts, and the reason that people are going out and rioting and protesting, and of course Black Lives Matter raising over $1 billion from these corporations, and then one of the founders buying four $1.4 million homes in predominantly white areas, which, no problem. I know what you do with your money is none of my business until it's a nonprofit, and then it kind of is everybody else's business. That's the nature of a nonprofit. This is where we are right now. Now,